record button. And this is the host, Michelle Padilla. We are the Awareness Show, and me and Jackie are teaming up again for another interview. Thank you for Matt Chastain. Today we have Crystal, and she's going to talk about her up and coming conference that she's having, Jackie.
I think she actually left the room.
Uh-oh.
We
There she
lost.
is.
There she
There we
is.
go. Okay, I see
Can you
you.
hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay, lovely.
So I was just telling Jackie about your conference coming up, Crystal. Can you tell Jackie a little bit about your conference?
Oh, yes, it's this week. It's Friday and Saturday. And what we're going to be doing is working with the subconscious mind. That's kind of my jam. So what we do is we go in and figure out what we need to work with. So everybody's a little bit different. And I'm talking to Michelle, you probably might have one or two things you'd like to work on. But if not, we can figure out where to start. And then we start one goal at a time. And we create a new neural pathway that believes this goal.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And I'm supposed to be, she's going to help me out, but I've been like sick and I had family issues. So I'm so sorry about that, Crystal. It's just been hectic.
One thing you'll know about me is there's no judgment, only love. When you're ready for it, you're ready for it. Sometimes things happen, and
yes.
I will never judge anyone. I'm just here for you when you need me.
Oh, thank you. Crystal, tell Jackie a little bit about yourself because she has no clue who you are.
Yeah, I would love to figure that out because as soon as I was like, oh, we've got this lady on today, and I was like, I wonder what she's got going on because she's got something on the 12th and the 13th. So to know that that's, what you're working on, it's I'm really intrigued. So please tell me more.
Yeah, so I just ended up, I'm going to be published next month as well. I've got some articles that I wrote that are going into some of Ariana Huffington's magazines and also a local magazine. So what I do is really powerful on all different levels. So my name is Crystal Privett, and I am a subconscious and advanced mindset reprogrammer. So what we do is we go in and find the things that are blocking us, because we have three different minds. We have our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, and our unconscious mind. So they're all different categories, but it's really hard to understand that, like, we only operate in the conscious mind, it only operates 5% of us.
Yeah.
So there's all this programming happening in the background that we're not really aware of, because our subconscious mind doesn't speak in words. What it does is it records everything you've ever seen or heard in your whole entire lifetime.
That's
So when it's recording that, you remember things kind of in movies, if you know older people or certain things that pop up in our head, and it's like, man, I feel like I'm right in that moment. I can feel the emotions. I can look over and see the polka dot dress that this person's wearing. Like, so many details when you think about something. It's like, how can I remember that? I had something I worked on this week for myself happen when I was 2 years old. I saw something on a TV show and I was like, oh my God, that was me. I was in the show and I was like, oh my gosh, this is happening right now. And I had not even thought about that for, I don't even know how long. And even my recollection of it, I was only 2. So I got lost on the beach, on Huntington Beach, for several hours, and I could barely walk.
Oh, wow.
So I was watching Firefly Lane last night, and someone told me, a couple people kept telling me I need to watch it. And there's a scene where she gets separated from her mother. And I just went into a panic. I couldn't figure out, why am I panicking? And then I remembered, it popped into me that this had happened to me. And so I went in that night and I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. So I stopped it and I said, we need to change this. So there's different ways that we can do it. We can erase a memory. We can transition the memory into something different, kind of to change it so it's not so scary, because I literally survived. I mean, I'm here. I didn't get kidnapped, or I didn't have, anything really bad happen, but subconsciously I was stuck in that fight or flight mode since I was 2 years old.
Wow.
And as I've been peeling back all these things that, trauma here, trauma there, I'm perfect for this job because I've had every kind of trauma. so it's something where I now have a lot of compassion for other people. And so what we do is we go in and ask how we'd rather feel. So sometimes we feel a certain way and we don't want to feel that way. It really doesn't feel like us even. So we get to change it, and that's what's really cool and powerful. So during my event, each day, I'm having 2 days, but each day we'll do a balance, and it's called a balance because we're balancing your left and right brain hemisphere. Right. And then once we've got you in that theta brain state, because that's when your brain is the most receptive, it's kind of like right before you go to bed, your brain will naturally figure out what it needs. And we test through muscle testing. So if you've never had that done, it's the energy that goes through your system. So just like a heart pacemaker and like a defibrillator, when they try to revitalize someone, they put that energy through our body, and it uses that energy to maintain itself, because we are energy, and those technologies utilize the energy inside of us. And just like those technologies, I have a way of tapping in to see if you have a strong or a weak response.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
It's like a choose your own adventure with each little goal and each little target. And when I do a session with people, we usually do 3 or 4 balances. And sometimes we'll use the same tool, or sometimes it's a different tool. I have all these different tools that they feel like little meditations, but it's the way that your brain needs to remove that subconscious belief.
Oh, I think that's
Crystal, where can they go to for your conference? Where can they get all the information? How much does it cost?
This is one of few events that's going to be free.
Oh, no
I
way.
have decided to do this free event out of the kindness of my heart, because I have celebrity clients, and I have really high-end clients, and I also have clients that can't afford my services. And I feel like this is such a beautiful gift that I want to be able to give back. And Valentine's Day especially is one of those
yeah.
I mean, not everyone has someone that they feel super loved from, and there's triggers. These things happen in our life and trigger situations from the past. So you could be living in something from years before. So as a newly single woman, let's get rid of those toxic relationships. Let's get rid of what no longer serves us, because every time someone's ever said something to you that was limiting, even though your conscious mind might not believe it, some part of you is still holding on to that. And why? Yeah, and it feels like a little bit, but if you're operating from 95% of that little bit, then that little bit adds up to more and more and more, and then all of a sudden you get like me, where your body was imploding. I was having this and this and this, and my subconscious was trying to tell me, live your dreams, stop playing small, don't live in that world anymore, because painful things do happen to people. You still can't change that. What you can change is your response to it. And this is how crazy it gets. You become it on a cellular level, even if you don't want to. So Dr. Jeffrey Fannin tells us that it only takes 17 seconds to create a chemical reaction within the cells of our body when we think of something either really good or really bad. That's really quick. But in 68 seconds, you begin to manifest these things on a cellular level. Even if you're stuffing it down, you're still manifesting it some way. So I love to give this example, and I know we talked about it last time, Michelle, but some of your viewers might not have heard it. So I like to explain what's a negative manifestation loop. Okay. This is real. Have you ever had an energetic day where you wake up and something bad happens, and then you're like you lose your keys? You lose your keys, you're looking for them everywhere, then all of a sudden you spill your coffee, then you stub your toe, and then someone calls you and you don't want to talk to them, and it's like all these things happen right after another.
Yes.
You're holding on to that emotion, and then you're attracting more of it without even realizing it.
I think that's the part that gets people, is that they don't realize that that's what they're doing, and it's a subconscious thing, and you won't even.
I still don't realize it. I still catch myself doing it. The other day, I broke out in a rash for the first time ever. Like one time I had poison oak, and that was the only other time I ever had a rash. And then I looked it up in my book about what it means when you have these like physical reactions, and like men were getting under my skin. like I don't know how else to say it. So once I realized that, and then I balanced on it, the rash went away. I was like, what? I still forget that this is my subconscious trying to talk to me. I went and washed all my sheets. I was like, oh, maybe my dogs had fleas or something like that. But then I went back to what it was trying to tell me, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm even forgetting what I'm doing. It happens because we're so used to thinking in that old pattern. Yeah. And sometimes even the emotional spiral, I even had one of those recently on New Year's, when I didn't really want to be by myself this New Year's, because in the last New Year's in the past, I hadn't really got to go out and do anything fun. So I was a little bit kind of having a pity party. And I ended up starting to spiral, and I could feel myself, and I'm like, oh no, I'm going to end up in like a depression. Because in the past, that's kind of what's happened. And then it takes me a day or two, and then I kind of snap out of it. But this time I caught myself. I was able to like be like, no, we don't have to learn that way anymore. So I was able to like empower myself and be like, okay, how would I rather feel? I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to feel like this at all. So I stopped and I did a balance, and I've got job security just on myself, but I do want to share this with everyone else.
I love that. That's really great, though, that you were able to catch yourself, and kind of like flip that before it went any further than what it already was. I like that a lot.
I can't be the only one feeling this way.
No, not at all, especially with everything that's going on.
Yeah, so let's talk about it. So that fear program, we talked about, it only takes 68 seconds. They've been running this program in us for almost a year now. So even if you didn't have trauma, even if you somehow became the most miraculous person and made it through childhood without any trauma, which that would be really cool. But even if you did, you still got something you can work on, even if you don't know it.
Yeah.
Just because of the fear programs they're throwing out at us, just because of that alone, that one area of growth. I mean, we can all grow, and I prefer to grow in the right direction. I think for a while there, I was trying so hard to grow into something that I wasn't, and I kept falling flat on my face, and I got sick of getting punched by life, and I'm like, wait a second, we can duck. Like, we don't have to just keep getting punched in the face. Like, we can like move to the side. Like, this is good.
I like that.
So how long is your conference? I know it's 2 days, but how many hours is your conference going to be?
So I'm only planning on having it be about an hour each time. And that's because I want to explain and introduce a little bit of the power of the subconscious mind. And then what I'd like to do is Matt's going to be co-hosting it with me, so he'll probably talk about a little bit of his experience when he couldn't come on a call with me because his back was out, and then by the end of the call his back felt better, and oh my gosh, how did that happen? Because this was a pre-existing injury, you can't help me. So I was really excited when I was able to be like,
she actually helped me with my sinuses because I was having really bad sinus issues. You know, when we had the Santa Ana winds, Jackie, I get really bad sinuses, and so she's helped me a little bit. And so I tell her, it's just right now I had a lot of problems breathing through my nose and stuff like that. But man, the next couple of days I felt better, but then it came back again. I'm like, you know, it's
so
like,
Michelle wasn't able to do an in-person session because she wasn't feeling well, and that sometimes happens. So we have to be graceful for her and other people when that happens. So I ran a surrogate session for her. So I did the session energetically on her behalf, and I gave her a little relief, which I'm glad to hear, Michelle. But I did want to talk to you about some things later that popped up during that session. So I think I have an idea why you have some of these discomforts. So
yes.
we'll talk privately about that.
I've been at night. I've been turning off the electronics at 10:30, 11. You know, but I'm still having problems sleeping. So I don't. Maybe after the surgery, like I said, hopefully I'll feel better. We'll see.
A
So
lot of people have trouble sleeping. It's one of the side effects of having a cluttered subconscious, because what happens, it's like kind of like a junk drawer. We know everything's in there. It just takes us a while to get to everything.
yep,
And so when we can start organizing our mindset by removing some of these are way back, far away. I mean, really far away, like some of the people that get some of the best results are the ones that are like the most traumatic and most awful emotions, because we don't want that stuck inside of ourselves anymore.
yes,
So it's very liberating for them and for me, because usually it's interesting what shows up in my clients a lot of times is stuff that I also need to work on. It's just,
yep.
it's called mirroring. It happens all the time. And when you kind of watch out what's going on out in the world.
Oh yeah.
Jack, you got any more questions for Crystal or any more
I was
thoughts?
you guys are saying right now about, having trouble sleeping and like what you're doing to kind of like, I guess, get around that and everything. And honestly, the only thing that came to mind for me was like, wow, I was definitely having trouble sleeping and I'm so guilty, but I had I would have like allergies. You mentioned the Santa Ana winds. Well, they get my allergies like crazy and I don't stand a chance. And I started taking Benadryl. And then I was like, wow, Benadryl is great. Not only is it helping me with my allergies, but it's knocking me out, giving me some of the greatest sleep that I've gotten in such a long time.
You're double dipping.
So then I'm
I think
thinking
it's
about what you're saying.
depending on
I'm
what
like,
hobby.
gosh, I'm probably super guilty. You know what I mean? I'm just like, let me take my Benadryls and, and I'm good. But wow, I think you've kind of opened my eyes to a few things that maybe I should really think about, for myself.
Yeah, it starts to feel really great when you start to offload some of this stuff, because if we think about it, I mean, the more and more that it builds up, even if we aren't aware that it's there, it's going to impact us in different ways. I've had
Yeah.
people recently that have tripled their income from working with me. I've had people that have lost a lot of weight, like 20, 30, 40 pounds.
Oh, that's
I
good.
have people that have ran in the direction of their dreams, even if it wasn't financially providing for them yet. Like I have a friend who is from Peru and his dream is to teach people to play the guitar. And he had done it in the past. He had been great at it, but he just stopped doing it and wasn't living that passion. And now he sent me a message today and it showed the little classroom that he was in with the kids. And it was like, go do it. Like, that's your joy, live it. Like for Michelle, this is her joy. This is a beautiful gift to share with people.
It is. It is. She's been
And
going strong.
Jackie, she actually bought two T-shirts from us the other day. Uh,
Oh,
That's
look at you. It looks great. I love that. I really
I
love.
did actually, and I actually got this cute little pouch too.
Oh, I know.
oh,
They're so adorable. I was telling Michelle, I was like, you've got some really cute designs on here. And I've already got people asking me too. And I was like, heck, I want a shirt also. So I'm gonna be jumping on too.
You
I
gotta
love it.
yeah.
splurge a little bit. We gotta work hard, but we gotta splurge.
We're still
Yeah.
looking
So
for sponsors, and we're trying. I brought on Jackie because I told her hey, I need help, because the show is getting more recognized, and I go, this is too much, so let's bring on somebody else. I had a co-host before, but she had school and she's got her kids, and so it's just super busy, and she's getting her master's, so that takes up a lot of time right there. So.
well, we're blessed to have Jackie. I'm really excited to meet you. And let's talk really quick about something we can do for you ladies for sleeping at night.
Oh, that'd
Yes.
be great.
So if we don't have time to go through a whole balance, at least we can talk about a little bit of some of the things we can do to kind of balance our brain. So there's this
Right.
posture that's called the whole brain or the whole body posture. So when we're doing these balances, sometimes you'll see that I'll do like motions where I'm crossing my arms a lot. And it's kind of interesting because we're cross our legs a lot, or you'll see that there's these different movements because what we're doing is we're getting the left and the right brain to talk to each other. So by crossing over it, it gives each other forms of communication. So when we cross our hands like this, we're crossing a lot, where we've got 10 different crossing over left and right. So what I like to do is we do it backwards. So we interlace our fingers backwards and then bring it up here to our chest. And then you just cross your ankles and then close your eyes and just take some deep breaths. It won't take long and you'll start to feel your brain relaxing.
Mm. Jack is already going to relax about.
It feels good.
It does, it does. So when we do these little balances, that's how it starts to feel. And then you go into another layer of feeling good and then another, and then you're like, whoa, we're going really good. And then sometimes it'll be like, oh, there's something I need to let go. And then sometimes we end up crying because some of it releases.
Oh my
And
God.
then afterwards, you feel better, incredible. In fact, that's one of the reasons I fell in love with this whole process. Because sometimes when you do some of this stuff, like traditional talk therapy, bless its heart, I'm not talking, it's for some people, it will serve you, but you're bringing up that subconscious emotion and you're sitting in it.
Yeah.
And it's just there.
Yep.
Mhm.
And so now you're bringing up all these emotions and then you don't know what to do with them. And so some people can't handle it anymore. If you're
Nope.
already on the verge and you're barely able to handle what you've got on your plate, and you're at a tipping point, sometimes that extra will push you over not the right edge.
Yeah. Well.
So this, even meditation can sometimes be like, oh, I'm really, really uncomfortable in my skin. Like, oh, make it stop. But this is really relaxing. It's very therapeutic. Everybody that does it says, wow, I feel so calm. I didn't know what it felt like to be myself again. I just feel normal. Like, wow, like I forgot what it felt like just to be myself. It just, and the sleep, everybody, I get a lot of comments on the sleep.
Yep.
So I watch what people have going on and really pay attention to what their body's telling them because it's really important.
Yeah, that is important. Just to pay attention to what's going on.
Well, I know our time is almost up, Crystal, and I want to do another interview after my surgery, but I think I'm gonna uh, postpone the awareness show for 2 weeks just to see how I feel. I'm taking everybody's advice. I'm gonna lay low, and I thought about doing like what do you call it? 80s music, just put some in there or some 90s music, just to keep up the podcast. But I might just take some time and just to heal because I don't know how I'm gonna feel. So we have Jackie and I are actually going to be presenting uh, March 5th and 6th at Caltash. So we're going to be talking about how to create podcasting for people with disabilities and their parents. So that will be on the 6th at 2:30, I believe, Jackie. So
I love that. Please let me know because I have some friends that have disabilities that would love to do something like that as well.
Oh,
oh, okay, yeah, and we will definitely share the link with you because it's called Caltash. It's their 38th anniversary. Sorry. So it happens every year, March and 6th. Usually they do it, in Sacramento or Los Angeles or San Diego. But with the pandemic, they're just gonna do it virtual. So I can send you the link and you can actually register if you want to learn more about different services for people who have disabilities and how they are struggling. So that's basically what it's about.
Yes, please. That sounds wonderful. I'm glad that you're doing such an amazing cause that you're
Thank
supporting.
you.
yeah.
So, Crystal, final note, where can they get more information about the conference and all your social media platforms?
Mhm.
Okay, so I'm on Facebook as Crystal Privett, but I'm also on Facebook as Crystalline Health Coach. So they can go to either one of those. The Facebook, the event is linked on Facebook, so
Okay,
that's where they can find it.
perfect.
Yeah,
And are
next week
you
I should have my website up by the next time we talk. So that would be great. And then also, Michelle, please let me know the day of your surgery. I would love to hold you up with just a little extra good
it
energy.
would be February 25th. So it's gonna be I'm staying overnight at the uh, Ronald Reagan Hospital in LA. So and this is gonna be the first time I'm not gonna be with my mom and dad because of COVID. So
Sending all the positive vibes. Definitely.
yep.
Absolutely. We
So
wish you the best of luck on everything.
Mhm.
so Jackie, do you want to tell Crystal what we've been up to with the awareness show where we are getting
Oh,
creative?
yeah,
She's
we've
our
been.
marketing side of it.
I've just kind of been trying to help out with getting the word out more and just creating more content to post up on social media to help push, you know, all of, well, the awareness show, all of that. And
To create awareness.
exactly. So I've, been trying to get on the ball with that and just get it all organized and just help her out, the whole team wherever I can, really. And I think what's great about it the most is the history that we all have together and how we're all able to just kind of fall in where needed and help each other out. And that's, I think, the biggest thing for me that I love the most about the team. So to know that I can help out with that kind of stuff, and that's why when I saw that you had the shirt on, I was like, oh my gosh, I was just doing that last night. I was looking at all the accessories and everything, and I was like, this stuff is so cute. Like, how did I not know about this sooner? But I'm really hoping to just get that out there more and to soon get my own merch so that way I could be like that, like, woo, my shirt. You know what I
we
mean?
have we have graphic designer Maxie Rodriguez, and she is the creator of the logos, and she's working on a personal logo for me. I'm very excited, so we're not gonna say anything till that much sooner, but she's working on it. But she's in charge of the graphic designs and the logos, and she has her own comic book series called Chubby Bunny, and she has her own line of style on her site, so you can check her out as well.
She
And
does
if
great work too. She
yes,
really.
yes, up
I
and
love
my
I love the tank I got. I love the Razorback because sometimes they're not feminine, and I really like the styles. And you could pick the different colors, and you can really make it feel like your own.
yep.
Yes.
Well, Zoom just let me know we only got 2 minutes left, so.
Thanks, Zoom.
I know.
Crystal, I would love to have you back on the show. And I will talk to Matt about that. So, Matt Chasey, thank you for hooking us up again. And I want to learn more about your conference. Send me
Yes.
any links you want me to promote it on Facebook. I will promote it for you on Facebook as well.
Thanks, Michelle. I always appreciate spending time with you. And it was really great to meet you as well.
Same, Crystal. Thank you so much for sharing with me and kind of like opening me up to that. I really did enjoy it.
Great. I look forward to talking to you ladies soon.
Yes. Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Talk to you later. Bye.